Good afternoon, everybody.
Yeah.
I would request people who are standing behind could take a seat as well.
All right.
Great.
Yeah.
Ladies first.
All right. So today, most of the sessions have been about data, and that's also what we want to talk about today.
Absolutely.
So the topic of today will be about filling in the blanks. So what does that mean exactly? A lot of the companies that we work with often tend to have a lot of blind spots. What does that actually mean? So a lot of the operating systems that they use are working in silos, creating those blind spots for your guests as a hotel or for your consumers in the retail business. And maybe as an introduction, we want to start with the following video.
Ambition is a powerful thing, but ambition alone never changed anything. Ambition wanted brighter candles. Engineering gave us a light bulb. Ambition wanted a faster horse. Engineering brought us horsepower. Ambition wanted louder guitars. Engineering plugged them in. Ambition wanted to go higher, further, faster, beyond. Engineering makes it happen. But ambition never stands still, and businesses need financial technology that keeps up. We started with payments, tackling head-on the patchwork of slow, legacy systems holding businesses back, and building a single platform from scratch. Global, fast, purpose-built to pounce on every opportunity. Now, we're turning our attention to another fragmented ecosystem and doing for financial products what we did for payments. More control, more flexibility, built for the next generation of game-changing businesses as part of our single platform. Because when ambition is met with the right type of engineering, the impact is exponential. Agile, engineered for ambition.
Great. So.
All right. So my name is Fleur, and I'm here together with Mansoor. And
Would like to give a small introduction about
maybe
this.
I want to start with a question.
Okay.
So can you please raise your hand if you've ever arrived at a hotel that you have been at before and they did not recognize you? They didn't know that you were coming.
Yeah.
You never experienced that?
I have always experienced that.
Exactly.
Sorry, I thought probably we would ask somebody from the audience, but I could see few hands being raised.
Well, today we want to take you on a journey with some of the experiences that we helped to enable with some of the customers that we work with.
Yeah.
And briefly, just an introduction about Adyen, the company that we work for. So who is Adyen? What do we do? And what makes Adyen unique? So Adyen is a global payments provider that was founded in 2006. And we offer payment services on a global level. So what does that actually mean? So it means that we do processing, gateway, acquiring, and settling. And we do this all on one platform. And I think that's what makes us truly unique, because we don't rely on partners and we don't grow based on acquisitions. We grow organically. And that means that whenever a customer uses our product in Germany and they want to expand to Italy or UAE or Singapore, they can do that without having to implement anything additionally. They can use the same stack of APIs and it works out of the box. And I think that's what makes us really unique compared to other providers.
Absolutely. It makes us very unique. The reason is that you don't have an acquired product. Everything is developed in-house. So we know what's happening on your gateway. We know what's going on, what's the fraud happening on the risk management side. And as we do the processing and acquiring, that is the reason we can watch and tell you what's happening in each step for a shopper or for a guest.
But because payments is often not very visible, we want to take you with us and show you some of the companies that we've worked with in the region.
Yeah.
So the first one is Sixth Street, which is a digital brand of the apparel group. And here you see a recent store opening. Let's take a look at the following video.
When you look at our experience, a customer can walk into a store and are able to pick one of the 38 tablets that we have within the store. There, you will find a very familiar browsing experience, just like you would on our app. Pick your favorite products, add it to the cart, and you can then try those products in our fitting room. You completed that experience, then you came back into the store, spoke to any of our fashion advisors, and through one of the Arabian process, you're able to check out seamlessly and straight walk out of the store. Click it, try it, buy it.
All right. One more example from a local one is the Dubai Balloon, which is a really cool touristy experience. So for people visiting Dubai, they can go and explore this really cool experience up in the air. What both of these customers have in common, and what they found very important, is data. But not only data, but also having those flexible omni-channel experiences, because Sixth Street, so the customer that you saw before, they offer retail online, but also in store. And they wanted that mobility in the store for those guests or the consumers buying something in the store.
Yeah.
The Dubai Balloon does the same. So they offer tickets online, or they sell tickets online, but also when you arrive at the Atlantis Hotel. And we were able to help them with those payments throughout those different channels.
And
Another thing,
it was one more thing which you also mentioned is what is a perfect blend of a physical and a digital store put together. I think the earlier session was perfect when we talked about data and how data is very important. Yes, it's important. And how a merchant or a hotelier could make use of that data as well. So we stitch that data and bring it on all platforms for you, and that's what we did with Dubai Balloon as well.
yeah, indeed, correct. And then one last thing are the partners. So not only Adyen as the partner, they also already use partners. So with the Dubai Balloon, they use the ticketing system, and with our terminals, they were able to print the ticket from the terminal, so that whenever someone purchases a ticket at the Atlantis Hotel, they no longer have to wait for the ticket to be printed from another system, but they can do that from the terminal.
Yeah.
So they can just walk into the park and into the balloon as quickly as possible. The same for Sixth Street. They can use X-Store, so the system that they use in the store, on the terminal, so that it requires less hardware and more mobility for the consumer purchasing in the store. Okay, but let's talk about hospitality, because I think that's what we want to talk about here today. So what about hospitality? What are some of those experiences that are limited today, but we can help to power and enable? So this is what an ecosystem of a hotel could potentially look like. When looking at this slide, it's quite,
It's a lot of
quite
data.
overkill, it's quite
Yeah.
complicated. A lot of systems, a lot of dependence, and it can be quite messy.
Yeah.
We don't want to go into this too much today, but we just want to show you that the connectivity of this entire ecosystem is so important.
I think what we wanted to showcase with this slide was to say how complex every business could be. Maybe a retail could be a little different than the hospitality or a travel, but in hospitality you have a lot more systems where the data flow is coming in. So you have a lot of points where you can extract the data. You could extract the information where your guest is coming in. What is he coming from? So if you see all these, definitely these are the touch points in a hospitality industry, which is the key for a hotelier to identify where the guest is coming from and where is he spending it.
Yeah, and let's not forget, in most of these systems, you also need payments.
Yeah.
All right, so often what we still see today, and this is the question that we asked in the beginning, and maybe I can also use one personal experience, is that often the best brands, so whether that's the big brands that we all know or the smaller boutique hotels, often they do not know who their guests are that are staying in the hotel. So let me use one of my own experiences in Dubai. So in the last year, I stayed in Dubai at the same hotel 3 times. I was arriving this Saturday in the hotel, and I was kind of waiting for it, but I was hoping they would recognize me. So arriving at the front desk, I was waiting for that moment that she would say, "Hey Fleur, welcome back at our hotel." That didn't happen, unfortunately. I did tell her that I was already here 5 weeks ago, and then she looked in the system and she could see that I was here. She had some of my data still saved in the system, which was nice, so I don't have to enter my email address again, my phone number, and all of that. But still, today, because of these systems running in the back, in silos, hotels do not see how a guest is moving around in the hotel. And this is what we can help to achieve with our platform, because if you have one payments platform across all of your channels in the hotel, you can have access to the data very easily. And we like to call that unified commerce. So instead of having those omni-channel experiences, we like to look at it as unified experiences where the systems in the back are connected and providing you that data to make better informed decisions. It's a bit, if we compare it to football, it's a bit like playing football in the dark. Like, how can you play football in the dark? How do you know where to place the ball if everything is dark around you, right?
You won't get to see where your goal is, where the ball is. Absolutely. And that's what happened with you, or probably the hotel where you were staying in thrice. They had no clue that you had already stayed with them thrice. So you were just shooting in the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we want to help hotels to broaden that view, to give you that full visibility over your guests, how they are spending, what they are spending, where they are spending, whether that's in the restaurant, in the spa, online, a touring package, name
Across
it.
the F&B.
Yeah. And win the match. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah. That's the sense of fulfillment for the hoteliers when we bring along the entire data or the guest information, stitching it across through all the channels, which was missing in that.
All right, so let's show you an example on what our platform is able to do. So this is what you see at a hotel when you don't know who's staying at your hotel. So you're completely out in the dark.
Yeah, I could say that this is something, an example you could relate to when you first checked into the hotel yesterday, right?
Exactly, yeah. It feels a bit like me. With our platform, we are able to give you information on who is known or not.
So what we basically try and do is that we try and stitch across all the channels information about the guest. A guest could be registered with a different phone number or an email, or probably using a completely different card. What we do is we try and stitch that data and give you in a complete profile, and where you could identify if the guest is a returnee guest and if a guest is going to have his dinner probably in the restaurant within the hotel. So the data definitely is important in all aspects, across all channels.
So let's say you are a hotel group having around 20 hotels in different countries. You have all sorts of sales channels. So someone booking online, someone buying something in the restaurant, so not charging into the room, using different cards, maybe having an expired credit card, but having a new one. We are able to connect those dots, basically, to connect those different cards, because we do that based on unique identifiers, like an email, like a name, but because we don't want your hotels to be in any form of breach, we swap that with what we call an alias or payment account reference.
And I think in your scenario, Fleur, the reason why they couldn't really read the data could also be the external engines where the data is coming in from. It could be external booking engines. And most of the time, payments are not integrated. So what happens when you book through an external agency? And if you don't have a payment gateway or a payment solution which seamlessly integrates and passes the information about the guest to your core system, which is your PMS and your channel manager, that's when you lose the information about the returnee guest. And that's what we do, and we provide that.
All right. So showing you how this works, if it goes through. So how do we know your guest? So let's take a look at an example. So this is some information that you may have about someone spending in your hotel. So the first row shows you a normal booking, a pre-booking for a hotel room called John Doe. Someone else, Eric Example, also checks in for a room worth of 100 euros. Then someone else buys a bottle of Burgundy wine, we don't know who, and someone else pays for dinner for 2 people. Also, no clue who that is. With our Data Connect product, we are able to link these 2 payments. So the first one, John Doe, and the third one, who is also John Doe, we're able to see who that is based on that unique identifier on the right. And you can also see that Eric Example, who also went for dinner for 2 people, he paid first with a MasterCard and then with Apple Pay. But for us, it doesn't matter. Even if he paid with another card, we are able to link that. And this can be very valuable because, of course, you have more insights. So basically, to summarize, 3 main benefits of this data enhancement. So the first one is, of course, removing that technical burden. Yeah. Because with our platform, you have everything already on the go. We can provide you already those out-of-the-box guest profiles.
Yes.
And you don't have to rely on too many different systems connected, requiring a lot of manual work. Second thing is enriching your data platforms. So whether that's the CRM, the PMS, we can help you to enrich those platforms that you're already using today very easily. And the third one is to make your marketing teams happier.
The most important part.
Sorry?
The most important part, where
Very
you
important.
know, or we enable you to really empower your marketing team where they should be spending their time, where should a hotel be spending their budget, and who should be your target audiences. So with this data platform and with this rich data, which we bring across to you from all the channels, it basically helps your organization to really plan, organize, and try and focus on those segments or a particular segment strategically across all channels.
All right. And then what about loyalty? Because
Yeah.
loyalty, let's not forget about loyalty.
Absolutely.
Well, I think what's really cool about our terminals is that our terminals cannot only be used for payments. They can do much more. So as you can see here on the picture, our terminals are also capable of asking for input requests. So what does that mean? So it means that you can leverage the terminals that we have and ask for any kind of
Information.
feedback about your guests, for instance, whether they like their stay. You can also use it, so as you can see here, to use your loyalty program to connect the payment card
Yeah.
instantly to your loyalty program and not having to rely on the CRM system to do that for you. It makes it very easy.
Yeah, absolutely. Optimize your spending. So basically, how we do that? We basically enable you. We have done this a lot with a lot of our prospects and now our customers, where we try and help them in optimizing the entire, with the help of our data as well. And how do we do that? We enable, basically with the help of Data Connect, to see and identify the details of, let's say, which card is being used. what nationality is being there. So let's say, if taking example of a retail, there could be a lot of stores open across, but with our enriched data, we could help you analyze and say that which are the stores which are doing well, and probably you might need a store because you see people coming from a different region or an area, and that's where you need them. With the language, where you could really invest into your sales merchandise team as well. So that's how we try and help you in optimizing that as well.
Okay, last part, we would like to show you some examples,
Yeah,
what we have been doing with our customers.
great. Some great brands. There's a mix. And what's common?
This one.
Those brands, all the brands which we showcase, we work with them. And why they work with us is purely because we are the only ones over the years which help them stitching the data across all channels, giving them some valuable insights about the shoppers, about the guests, which could really help them optimize on their revenue side as well. Try and focus on those strategies and channels where they could really get their guests or shoppers return to their stores or to their hotels. This is a very good example of wearable technology. I know we talked about a lot of aspects, AI earlier, chatbot, a lot of stuff, ChatGPT. Wearables are fairly, I wouldn't say new, but it has been used, but how we have put this across into the hotel industry. So
And I think
maybe
very valuable here
Very
in Dubai as
valuable,
well,
very
because there's a
valuable.
lot of theme parks, attraction parks for which this
absolutely.
product can be quite...
Just before we play the video, I would like to tell you how we did that, so you could see through the video as well. So you would see in a video that there are wristbands being used, and you would also see cards being tokenized on those wristbands. So ideally, what would happen is that you don't need to really have a wristband or a device where you just need to go back and forth topping up those wristbands. But you could tokenize the card and the token would be on your wristband. So at any point of time, you could always pay with your wristband only. You don't need to remove or top up your cards. And you could set the limits and the security for your kids or for the grown-ups. So this is a concept which is being used and implemented in one of the hotels.
Yep.
We've actually created this oasis that's only 5 minutes from Manhattan. We have 10 spas in Italy, we have a spa in France, and we have our newest spa on Governor's Island in New York. It's really, really important that we have partners and platforms that are international so that we don't need to mix and match when it comes to finding solutions.
What I appreciate about Arabian is the flexibility of the solution. They are a partner that was flexible and had an extensive set of tools that allowed us to craft an experience together with Arabian. We can merge our capacity, capabilities, and find together the best way to follow the trends without losing the focus on the experience.
Great. So I believe with this particular video you might have seen an example. Definitely we talked about hospitality a lot, retail. This is a well-known name for all of us in the region and across the globe, Foot Locker. We have definitely created unique shopping experiences for them. We have identified some of the key areas for them and implemented our solutions globally for them as well, which is click and collect, and also with their pay by link. So definitely that gives an edge over the shopper, where the shoppers could really go onto their website, pick up their item, do the payments, and just collect it from their stores.
Yeah, and I think the endless aisle element is very
Yes.
important here, because people can order online. So the same in a hotel, if you compare it, you book online,
Yeah.
you check in online on your mobile, and you come to the front desk and they already see that you've checked in.
Yeah.
So meaning that everything is connected. The same with Foot Locker, you buy online, you go into the store, you return it, and the systems are connected. They are able to see that you bought it online.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is also used in restaurants as well, very widely. Click and collect. So you go to their website of a restaurant, you probably like the menu, you order something, and if it has got an integrated payment solution, then you pay and you just go and collect it with your order. So this is an example which probably, I think, as some of the hoteliers would completely relate with. Citizen M was the first ones in terms of how they have married to the technology side of it and brought technology into hospitality. Being one of our very old customer as well, they have implemented technology and payments very beautifully across all their channels.
Yeah.
So maybe we could give them a showcase about the video.
Hi, I'm Dylan Lawrence. I'm the payment specialist and accounts receivable specialist at Citizen. At Citizen, we work together very happily with Adyen in a wide range of subjects. They are a very important partner for us when it comes to our frictionless checking, both innovation and also all around support in supporting our projects. I guess there's various options when they try to check in. They can check in through the app after making a reservation, or they can go to the kiosk and talk to one of our ambassadors. After checking in, they can make their own key, either at the kiosk or also in the app. We are working towards a situation where we can actually use the phone instead of the card to open the room.
Alright, so what you can see here is that again, the hotel is trying to create that level of mobility and flexibility for the guests. Yeah. So it was me in the video, and I always like to do the mobile check-in experience because I can do it in my own time. But they have multiple options. So you can either ask someone for help and do the check-in process for you, or you can do it on your phone, or you can do it at the kiosk and grab a room key and you can go to your room. It's as easy as that. And it works.
Absolutely. Nike, yes. So Nike had probably the vision that they would like to reach out to each and every shopper directly. And I think most of the hoteliers also and travel industry experts believe that they would like to reach to the individual directly as much as possible. And that has been the dream for everybody, but you don't have a platform, you don't have the right payment solution. That's what we joined hands with Nike and created that entire dream where they could create your own shoes. What do I mean by create your own shoes is select from the mobility device your shoes and it will come right through. Not only that, but by creating this seamless payment integration, you could buy online, and if it doesn't fit you or something is wrong, you could go back into the store and return in store. That's the beauty of having a seamless integrated payment solution, because only that can provide you this journey. When you talk about theme parks, I think everybody is quite familiar with theme parks, what we have in Dubai, in UAE and around, which is very important. Now, this is one of our customers where we have created for them a beautiful insights about how their journey was for their guests and their shoppers coming into the theme park. Although they might be spending hours in the theme park, but they wouldn't know, except from the ticketing line where they pay by the card. That's it. They wouldn't know where they're spending, what they're spending, how much time they're spending, which are the rides, which are the F&B outlets. But that's where we joined hands with them, and then they said, okay, fine, we need to really work on this and provide you some meaningful data. And if you see in the next slide, we could see that we created a meaningful data for them, where we created the entire journey and showcased to them that all your people coming into the theme park, how much time does it take for them from the ticketing to the entire journey, where they are spending, even if they are spending through their Apple Wallet or any different card, we could identify them. That's the beauty of having an integrated payment solutions across all platforms, whether it's a ticketing, whether it's your F&B, or whether it's your online channel, or even a QR code, or mobility.
Great.
So, yeah.
Last example.
Yeah.
Zapka.
So Zapka, I know probably a lot of people might not know about Zapka. It's a brand in Europe, and it's not a small brand, although the kiosk over there looks like a very small. We will play a video about it, but it's an unmanned grocery store. Obviously, we have heard about Amazon launching an unmanned grocery store. They are one of our customers. The revenue size is not small in terms of their total strength. They are $3.9 billion worth of revenue.
9,000 stores,
Yes.
only in Poland, so they're quite big. And yeah, let's take a look at the following
Yeah.
video. So what happens here is we do a pre-observation.
Amazing. So I think this was the last example which we wanted to really cover. So if you see, obviously you've been through the entire journey of the presentation, what we did. You might have seen that we gave you an example on each industry, from travel, retail, hospitality, theme parks. There have been loads of customers. And that's what is common, where we connect the data and give you those insights.
Yeah, and we wanted to show you some of these other industries because a lot of these other industries have similar challenges that the hospitality industry also faces in terms of data, in terms of experiences. And yeah, I think we as Adyen would like to help you
Yeah.
to bring the hospitality industry to the next level.
Absolutely. We'd like to help you. And if there are any questions, please feel free to ask us, and we are happy to meet you.
Good. Yeah. Thank you. Are there any questions?
Any questions from anyone?
Can we get a
There you go.
microphone?
Sorry for the delay. The gentleman on the third row. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, it is very nice
Yeah.
to see you guys here and welcoming for the ATM. You say Zapka,
Yeah.
so it's what company is that?
So it's a grocery retail store. It's a convenience store.
I told that it's 9,000 outlets in Poland.
That's right.
9,000.
9,000. Yes.
And the one you were showing was the AI type of things, like you go there and buy and then you exit. That was your focus, or it
No,
just
payments was our focus. So basically what we did was we integrated the payment. So we enabled the store to be an unmanned store, but obviously it's not only us, there are a lot of elements built into that. So you could see the AI technology which talks to the CCTV cameras over there, which enables you to identify where the shopper is going. There are RFID tags which are underneath those containers. When they pick, they get to know what is being picked. So they could identify and bill you accordingly. Because when you enter, it will allow you to enter inside the retail grocery store only when you tokenize your credit card. And that's when the door opens and you keep shopping.
it's a good example of AI. Like
Yeah.
we are also, if you go to one of the supermarkets in Carrefour, so I would say that in new generation of this AI, the customers are not only the customers, but they are also the part-time employees. You see, like when you go to a cash counter, you
Right.
find the cash counters with people, only 5 or 6. I'll say, sir, if you want to go there, then you have to just go there and tap yourself, and then tap your rewards, and then go out.
That's
So,
it.
so you're also learning. So tomorrow you can be also a cashier in some supermarket.
Absolutely. So ideally we provide the
So that was
entire
the-
seamless journey.
Yeah,
So
that was my point actually.
Thank you.
So
Thank you
from
for your
this whole
question.
presentation, the AI technology stood out. What we don't do.
I mean, this is how
There is one more
the
question.
industry works in the crossway always.
Yeah.
Being from financial industry, I noticed that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you.
I think if you can give the mic to.
Hello, I have a question with regard to hotel check-in specifically. You showed an example that is super innovative, but how do you deal with the fact that there has to be, at least in some countries, a procedure for identification? There has to be a passport identification, ID scan, and so forth. So that part was not shown. How do you deal with that depending on the jurisdiction that you are
So-
offering solution in?
Yeah, so ideally we also integrate. So I think it's a very good question. The main part, and I think that's the most important part for a payment provider within the hospitality, that you integrate and touch all the systems on the hospitality or on property. So we integrate with also these systems, which has to be a key identifier for a guest to come in. Only then you would identify that the card holder is the same card holder as the guest who has arrived and whose passport has been scanned. So let's give an example of Samsotech, which is widely used across. Yes, we do integrate and talk to them as well, because that's important for us, that tomorrow if a hotel wants to go in a mode where they want to use a kiosk or a mobility, so I'll be able to identify that guest, saying that this particular person checking in is the person who's holding the card as well. So although it was not shown, but yes, it is integrated as well. It has to be there, that's what it is.
Thank you.
Oh, there's a question over there. Hello. Hi.
So cool. We are basically a travel marketplace for activities and experiences in Saudi Arabia.
Right.
And we are thinking to have insights and have emerged customer experience.
Right.
The same way that you are representing. So my question is, for fully digital platforms, we are not talking about Zarka, we're not talking about physical stores. For marketplaces like that, how can the work usually have been done? Have you done anything purely digital without any physical
We also work a lot
appearance?
with
And
digital.
how it works in terms of the insights. Can you tell me more about that?
So we work with a lot of digital companies as well. But what do you mean exactly? What kind of digital experiences in terms of travel or hospitality?
So is it your question related to the marketplace where
Have you worked with different marketplaces in terms of providing the insights and the analysis for end-to-end journey?
Yeah, absolutely. We do that. We do work with a lot of companies who are also offering you on a marketplace some. Let's take an example of a company. I would not name that, but then providing leisure and entertainment experience. You could, or anybody or any individual could go and buy the tickets or the coupons and use them in different outlets. We could identify and tell you where they are redeeming it as well. But it has to be a full integration at that part. So definitely we have worked with a lot of experiences, giving them a complete digital platform as well.
Yes.
I think there's a question over there with the gentleman over there.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Sort of follow on to the question the lady asked over there.
Yeah.
With your hospitality. Without giving away trade secrets, what's your unique identifier? How did you tie John Doe paying for his hotel room to the restaurant?
Right.
Without giving away what are your unique identifiers? What's your margin of error in getting that identification correct, if that makes sense?
Yeah. So what happens?
Yeah.
So basically what happens is that, let's say if a guest comes in for the first time, obviously our machines are capable of getting the information. So let's say we could ask them to fill in their email address, their mobile number. These are the important information where these then get tagged into a unique shopping identifier, we call it as. Now that unique shopping identifier is the unique ID. So let's say tomorrow if that same person comes in with a different card, but we as a payment provider has the capability of reading in whether he's carrying a MasterCard or a Visa, But if that same phone number is being registered for that card, we could stitch that data along and tell you that it's the same guest, although he has used a different card, but he's returning guests. So that's how we stitch the data along, and we use a unique shopper identifier ID to identify the guests.
Folks, the reason I was asking that question, if I booked in and I gave you all my data to register, and then I went into the restaurant without having to give my email address, phone number, or anything,
No.
how do you then tie it
No.
into
So
We connected with your credit card.
paid with a different credit card?
The first time.
Only it's the first time that we would ask you to enter the data, right? Once you enter that data, you have the data which is linked to your card. Let's say if you're using one card on the front office, your data is already over there, right? We identify and we create a unique shopping identifier for you. And if you use the same card in the restaurant, we stitch that stating that the journey of a guest who has already stayed in your hotel has gone and dined into the restaurant. Take another example, if you're using another card, but that card also has got the same mobile number you're using, then we stitch that and tell you, although the same guest has been staying, but use a different card on the front office and use a different card at the F&B and settle the bill. That's how we stitch the gate.
Yeah, so there needs to be a identifier that matches both cards.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Slide back. Go back.
Zapka. Amusement park, yes. Merlin.
This one? Yeah. Okay, so how are we able to see that it's the same guest if I'm using either a card or Apple Wallet? And there's no common identifier available.
See, in any scenario, when you use a credit card, you will definitely provide a mobile number where you will be activating your card, right? No, from a bank, you will have to activate your card, your credit card,
Yeah,
right?
so maybe we should also say, in a lot of regions, we have an acquiring license, which gives us access, so we have a banking license,
Yes.
which gives us access to more data points. So whenever you have different cards, we have those unique event identifiers that often other payment providers do not have because they don't have that license.
Yeah. Yes. We do. And that is the reason why we could, let's say, as the gentleman asked, that if I have not given the phone number, or let's say if I have not given the email number for a new card, because we have the acquiring capabilities, we talk to the schemes directly. So we know Visa or Master or Amex, whatever you might be having, with your mobile number or a unique email address, we could identify it's the same guest coming in. And in this scenario, we could also capture even if it's an Apple Wallet is being used as well.
Yeah, so
And
our
we could stitch
platform talks directly to the schemes, so Visa, MasterCard, Amex, and whenever someone changes the card because it got expired, we can see that on our platform.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything as our customer.
Yeah, absolutely.
More questions?
Any more questions? Done. I think we're done for the day.
well
Thank you so
done.
much.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the
Thank you.
questions. It was lovely.